Yo, Mr. Don, Mr. Willis, Mr. 8, what's up, y'all? How's everybody doing today? Give everybody a minute to get in here. Is everybody doing well today? Chilling. I feel you. That's what I'm up to. So, for everybody that's in here, I'll let you know there will be no show tomorrow. We're having a Friendsgiving, and I will be missing in action all day. How do I feel about you talking about Terrence Jackson Davis? He's okay. Or Trace, sorry, not Terrence. He's just okay. I like him a lot more on DK. Thanks, buddy. Alright, let's dive into it, shall we? Well, I guess we got 4 more minutes before it's actually 5 o'clock. Discord's starting to grow, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, 8, did you try to upload those projections into anything or no? It's still a work in progress. I'm trying to figure it all out. Brooke Lopez Day? Not for me. I love Lopez, don't get me wrong, but for me, it's Donovan Klingon Day. I look homeless. I haven't done anything except clean the house today. Just threw a hoodie on, some pants, and I don't even think I walked outside today. Alright, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Starting off at the point guard position on FanDuel. Core play for me, just a straight misprice. Scottie Pippen, 5,400 on FanDuel is a crime. I got him projected for 30. That's going to be more than enough. He plays at 0.98 fantasy points per minute. I think he's got the best matchup on the slate today. All these Memphis guards do. The Bulls just cannot defend the guard position at all. They can't really guard anything. Their defense is atrocious. But I really like Scottie Pippen today. He's going to be a core piece for me. A guy I was getting a ton in my early builds, and I'm totally okay with it. Damian Lillard. Also, great matchup here. Hornets ranked 25th against the point guard position. He's been playing decently, but he really hasn't had that breakout game this year. We know this guy's capable of 70 fantasy points on any given night. Really like him today. I'm sure my final builds, I'm going to have plenty of him. Ayo, if he starts again, I think he's absolutely in play. Put up 40 fantasy points last night against Atlanta. Absolutely took all the usage from the guy I was high on, Zach LaVine, and that just killed me. But he is in a good matchup here. If he starts 5,600, don't mind him whatsoever. But you do got to kind of remember, he is a very streaky player. He's put up north of 30 fantasy points multiple times this year, north of 40 twice. But he's also put up 15 and 16, playing well over 30 minutes in those games too. So you got to take the good with the bad with him. I'm not getting near as much as LaMelo Ball as I want to get. I really like LaMelo today. The Bucks struggle against the guard position, though they have been playing a little better against the guard in the last 5 or so games. But LaMelo's a different breed. I really like him today. Like I said, my early builds, I was not getting near as much of him as I want. I'm going to try to artificially inflate that. See what we can do about that. Lamont Thompson's grading out really well for me. Another one of those guys that's just pretty streaky. It's really dependent on his minutes. I just wish this Rockets team would just give him the damn minutes. You know he's a great basketball player. Josh Giddey. So, Giddey would probably be my preferred Bull today. I'm really on this Memphis-Chicago game, just like I was on the Chicago-Atlanta game yesterday. But if I had to pick just one single Bull to take, it would be Giddey today. Like him quite a bit. I think Steph's fine. Probably going to get you 40 fantasy points. If you're lucky, he'll get you more. I don't mind him. Jalen Suggs is just okay. Fred VanVleet just okay. He really let me down yesterday, son of a bitch. So I'm not getting as much of Jaden Ivey as I thought I would without Cade. And we'll touch on why when we get to that player that I'm getting a lot of. But I really don't mind if Ivey falls into my lineups. And it doesn't look like the public is on him as much as I thought they would be at 12%. So I might try to artificially boost his numbers as well. What's up, Jose? Habla español, señor. Bet you guys didn't know I was bilingual, huh? Tim Hardaway. That's not the guy I'm on. I do like Tim today, though. Kobe White's totally fine. Had a massive game against Atlanta. But everybody below Kobe White, just MME filler for me. Nobody I'm really keen on. But I will tell you, a guy here that can be super sneaky for you today, I'm really liking, is Luke Kennard. I like him a lot more on DK just because of the price. But he's still pretty cheap over on FanDuel at 4,100. And he's been getting minutes lately. 25, 24, 26. And this Memphis team's dealing with a lot of injuries. If you want to take a flyer on an unknown guy, I like Luke Kennard tonight. Let's move it over to the 2-guard. Going to be a core play for me. You guys know I've been on him for a week now. Brandon Miller. Taking on the Bucks, who have struggled mightily against the 2 and the 3. He's put up 60 and 48 fantasy points in back-to-back games. I think he continues to thrive with no Bridges in this lineup. He has found his game, and he is ready to take off. Love Miller today. Going to have a ton of him. I like LaVine. I would rather get to Giddey today, but LaVine is grading out better for me. He really let us all down last night. But at this price, I don't mind running it right back with him. I know it's hard after a guy just the previous night has let you down to just stick him back in there. But I got to trust him. He's in the NBA for a reason, right? Borderline core piece, haven't made my mind up yet. Desmond Bane, he's going to get all the usage he can handle today. And the Bulls, like we said about Scottie Pippen, are terrible against the guard positions. Bane has all the upside in the world. He hasn't even shown it this year. He's easily got 50 plus upside, and I think tonight's the night he could probably hit it. Core piece right here for me, though. Malik Beasley, 5,100. He is who I anticipate to soak up most of the usage that Cade Cunningham leaves behind. Plays huge minutes and shoots the ball a ton. Love some Malik today. We talked about Ayo. Tim Hardaway's totally fine. He should definitely get more minutes. I expect he will probably start. Just depends on how the Pistons are going to run it. But I like him quite a bit. I thought my phone went off with news, but I guess it didn't. Sorry about that, guys. No news yet. But we'll get the Detroit lineup. I expect him to start. Let's see what Line Star thinks. Yeah, they have him starting too. So, we'll see. But either way, if he falls in your lineup, I'm happy about it. Don't mind him whatsoever. We talked about Thompson. Jalen Wells, he's fine. Like, his price, though, I'd rather get to Tim Hardaway. But if you're trying to get different in a GPP, then sure. We talked about Giddey. Jalen Green, I mean, if you want 26 to 33 fantasy points, he's your guy. Not really who I'm targeting, but if he lands in your lineup, I get it. I have no interest in Reeves. Dylan Brooks is just a bad basketball player that got lucky yesterday. He shot 10 for 15. He's never going to shoot that good again in his life. The previous game, he shot 1 for 10. Game before that, 2 for 8. Like, just is what it is. KCP's fine. Cody Martin's intriguing. Started yesterday, put up 29 fantasy points. I think he can do that again if he starts. But everybody below him's just GPP only. Shaden Sharp's price, it went down after a bad performance yesterday. I really expected him to play a lot more than 23 minutes. The prior game, he played 38. I know they got Simons back, but damn. Move it over to the small forward position. A lot of the same guys here. We talked about Miller and Levine. LeBron's fine if he lands in your lineup. He's on another level this year. Playing great. I don't mind him whatsoever. Not going to be a core piece for me, but a guy I'm going to have a ton of tonight, Franz Wagner. Just played LA and put up 70 fantasy points. This guy is literally doing it all for this team. 1.40 fantasy points per minute. 31.31% usage rate. He does everything. Yeah, absolutely done. So, there's two sides to the story, though, right? So, first of all, I tried to build the highest scoring lineup possible per night. I don't really care about ownership. But there's a direct pivot to that strategy that 8-Legged 8 plays, where you try to play with lower owned guys, hoping they outscore all those guys that are highly owned. So, for instance, let's look at LeBron. He's 32% owned, right? Well, he's a lot safer than Franz Wagner, who's $600 cheaper. But I think Franz Wagner has the upside to surpass LeBron tonight, and he's at lower ownership at only 19%. So, you get him cheaper, you get him at lower ownership, but he is riskier. And that's usually how it is. The high ownership guys are guys that are in safer positions. You're just taking a bit more of a gamble most of the time when you're taking a lower ownership guy. And is it good to stack games? Not necessarily. So, like the Memphis-Chicago game tonight has the highest total on the slate, only a 5-point spread. When I say I'm targeted in that game, 9 times out of 10, that means I'm taking 2 players from each team. If it's a very small slate, maybe 3 from each team. But I never want to completely stack an NBA game because there's only one basketball. There's only so much usage. Only one person can score per possession. and one person can get an assist. So if you have 3 guys on the offense, the best thing you can hope for in one single possession is one of your players assist the guy who scores the bucket. Well, if you got 3 people, I mean, one person's going to do nothing for you on every single possession they have. If they're on the court at the same time, of course. Moving on, where were we? Franz, we talked about pretty much everyone. A guy I think is getting overlooked. I'm not going to core him. He's only pulling 7% ownership that I'm seeing right now. Let me make sure that's right. Yep. Why are people overlooking Andrew Wiggins? I much prefer him on DK. Might be a core piece over there. But even on FanDuel, even at 5,800, his last 2 games he's put up 47 and 44 fantasy points. Now I get it. The Spurs are probably going to have Wemby back tonight. And it's a relatively hard matchup. But Wiggins has shown out in 2 straight games. I have no indication that he's going to stop. I really like Andrew Wiggins if you're trying to get different tonight at only 7% ownership. I don't see why people are not looking his way. Sorry, ran over. Tari Eason's fine. Been putting up just monster numbers on no minutes. I don't get this. The dude's put up over 40 fantasy points in 3 straight games. In the last 2 games, he gets 23 and 22 minutes. So, Tari, you're taking a big risk playing him because he just might not get the minutes to do anything. This Rockets rotation just has me so messed up. I talked about Wells. I'm not playing Austin Reeves. Van Fleet never again. Yeah, he screwed us last night, man. Another guy I think is really getting overlooked. Now, I kind of get this one. His price tag's pretty high at 6,800, but he's only pulling 6% ownership, and that's Tobias Harris. He's obviously going to have to be more involved tonight. There's going to be a lot of usage to be picked up from Cade not being in the lineup. I think Denny Advia's fine tonight, but pretty much everyone under him's just GPP. Eason, Wemby, and Paul. Eason's 11%. Chris Paul is probably unowned. 12%. And Wemby is 4%. But I think that's low on Wemby. Let's move it over to power forward, shall we, gents? Talked about LeBron. Giannis, totally fine. This is a rare thing with this team, but I actually prefer Dame to Giannis tonight. But I think either one's fine. You can't go wrong with either one. Talked about Franz. I love Franz today. Grant Williams. Price starting to creep. I guess it's not as bad as I thought it was earlier, but I still like him. If he falls in your lineup, I'm totally okay with it. I am anxious to see who Charlotte's rolling out today in the starting lineup. But I like Grant. Brandon Clark, if he starts, is just too cheap. I know he hasn't shown the upside yet, but this Bulls team is so bad defensively. I think Clark can get there. AD's totally fine, and if you look at the matchup history, he's dominated Joker over his career. So, great matchup for him. Here's one I was kind of stuck at. Full disclosure, I love them both. Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bane. I think one of those 2 guys are going to be in the winning lineup tonight. Slight lean to Bane, but I really like Jaren Jackson tonight. Really, really like him. I mean, Vucevic just let Jalen Duren drop a big game on him not too long ago. Like, you give up a big offensive game to Duren. Triple J is an offensive-focused power forward. Like, he's going to be able to eat tonight. I really don't mind if I have Bane and Triple J in the same lineup tonight. Talked about most of these guys. I'm never really a fan of Triple J, or sorry, Draymond Green. God dang, I cannot talk. I'm so sorry. But he's just okay. You guys know I hate playing him. Bane is 37% tonight. Triple J is 19. I'm pretty certain Wemby's going to play tonight. Let's take a look at the old X and see if we can find anything on him. Yeah, he's probable. Like, I'm 99% sure he's gonna play. So Bane was 37%, and Triple J was 19. But moving down the line here, Santi Aldama. If Triple J gets in foul trouble, him and Jake LaRavia will eat tonight. It's just a coin flip on which one. Jake LaRavia's been playing some solid minutes. You guys know I love him. 1.16 fantasy point per minute player. It's just always been about getting the minutes. Santi Aldama, great fantasy point per minute guy at 1.05. It's about getting the minutes. And if Triple J's in foul trouble. Everybody below LaRavia, though, for the most part, is just going to be MME for me. Even Wemby, like, I'm a little worried about his minutes. If you guys have been around, you know I hate playing guys off injury the first game back. I always want to take a wait-and-see approach to make sure they're getting their minutes. Let's move it over to center. Core piece for me tonight, Donovan Clingan. He is going to be playing with no Robert Williams tonight. He's out. And DeAndre Ayton, I don't know if they've confirmed it yet, but he was doubtful. So he's pretty much the only big man they have left. Should be able to easily surpass 30 minutes tonight. Sengun plays terrible defense. He just shit the bed against them on paper, but he played 15 minutes and put up 23 fantasy points. He is a 1.38 fantasy point per minute player tonight. I love him tonight. I can't get away from him. Diabate's grading out really well for me. You guys know what he does. He grabs boards and he gets rebounds. He shot 0 for 2 against Detroit, but still played 32 minutes and grabbed 16 boards with 3 steals. So, I mean, if I know that he's going to play 32 minutes again, then I'm very happy to roster him. Like, even if he doesn't shoot at all. Joker's absolutely fine. I won't be getting there today. I'm going cheap at center, but if you want to play him, you know this guy has slate winning potential every night, regardless of the matchup. Sengun, if you want to play him, you guys know I was on him last night, and he put up 28 fantasy points against Portland. So, screw me, right? Vooch is fine. Don't mind him. He's been on a bit of a heater. So we'll talk about him. I cannot say his name. Buzelis, is that how you say it? I watched the game last night, and I can't even say it. He worries me. I would like to see the starting lineup. He done great in 20 minutes of action. Scored you 20 fantasy points. That's right at 1 fantasy point per minute, right? That's great. But it's the first time the entire month, really. Well, since November 6th, he's gotten over 20 minutes. That's what scares me about the Bulls team, is their rotation's a little wonky too, outside of the starting 5. How can you turn that around? You turn it around by playing Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis, or LeBron James tonight. Because their game starts 2 hours after everybody else's. Yeah, I know they're without a lot. Like, Julian Phillips was just ruled out. I mean, let me take him out. If I knew for certain, okay, I already had him out, that I'm going to give him a boost. Because I think you're right. I think he is going to play more meaningful minutes. What the fuck happened to Torrey Craig? They said, oh, he's not starting, but he'll play off the bench. I read that tweet. He played 0 minutes. So what we're going to do, if I haven't already, we're just going to take him out of my player pool. I don't care if he's in the starting damn lineup again tonight. I'm not playing him. Jamal Murray. 9%. Let's throw a build together, shall we? Give the core out, throw a build together. We got to start with the first core piece, Scottie Pippen. Move over to the 2 guard with the second core piece, Brandon Miller. Third core piece, Malik Beasley. Where'd he go? There he is. Fourth core piece, Desmond Bain. Where'd Malik go? Here he is. Then we need our last core piece. For me, it's just got to be Donovan Clingan today. Let's run that and see what kind of lineups we're getting here while I post it in the Discord. Probably going to get a lot of Damian Lillard with this build, and I'm okay with it. I like Dame tonight. There you go. The core is posted in the DFS Plays chat. If you guys ever want to support us, sign up for the premium. It's in the Discord. It's only $10 a month. And look at that. Second lineup there, 8. You spoke him into existence. Buzelis is in there. Sort by projected. And like I said, Dame in the top lineup here. And my golly, I like this lineup right here. That first lineup is fire. Literally the only question mark I have in this first lineup is Brandon Clark, which like I said, if he's starting, I love him. And Zach LaVine after last night, but like I said, I got to roll with him. Or the second one, everything about this second one I love, except Amon Thompson, which he has the upside. He's risky is all I'm saying, but his price. What could I get for his price? So I can switch to Ayo if I wanted to. I like that. I like that quite a bit. And I'm very happy with the builds we're getting here. Very, very happy with them. Who's ready to swap to DK? I did not look up Jamal Murray's history against LA. I did not. Let's swap over to DK. So, Diabate looks absolutely amazing on DK. I just want to make sure he's starting. Probably won't get that news before lock. I know we won't get that news before lock. But I have a clear pivot if he does not start. So he's going to be a core piece, but I'm going to have a pivot off of it in the Discord in case he does not start. Let's go to point guard, where Ayo 5K is just too cheap. LaMelo, love him on DK today. Just easy plug and play. Same with Cody Martin. Do they think Cody Martin's starting again? No. It's going to be Mr. Green. Did Green start yesterday? I thought Martin started yesterday. I don't know. But Suggs looks fine. Giddy's good. Ivy's fine. On what site? 8. On DK, yeah. On DK, White's 10%, Giddy 18, AO 31. But if we look at FanDuel, AO is only 7% owned. Giddy is 25% owned, and Kobe White is 13. So I would say absolutely on DK, but not so much on FanDuel. Let's see, where was I here? Point guard. Really, after Dame, it's all going to be GPP for me on DK. 2 guard, Bane's just... he's too cheap over here, too. I think you got to have him. He's going to be a core piece for me. We talked about Ayo. Ayo! Amon Thompson looks way better on DK, where he's only 5K. I expect to get a ton of him on DK, and I'm okay with it. Still love Brendan Miller over here. And I'll be honest with you. Most likely, I don't know for sure yet because I haven't even ran a lineup, but most likely I'm going to have LaMelo and Brandon Miller in my same DK lineup. And Luke Kennard, $3,300, guys. $3,300 for Luke Kennard, who's played 25, 24, and 26 minutes in his last 3 games. If you need to save money, this is your free core piece for watching the YouTube. Play Luke Kennard. He's not going to be in the core in Discord, and I may not have him in my final single entry build. But if you need a cheap guy to complete your lineup, make it Luke Kennard tonight. Marcus Smart. On DK, he's pulling 2% ownership. And on FanDuel, he is pulling 4%. I personally wouldn't play him because I don't think he gets over 23, 24 minutes today. Malik Beasley, I still love on DK. But after him, it's really GPP plays for me. Tim Hardaway's fine. Levine's fine. But yeah, Zach Levine is only 7% on DK, by the way. It's his price, 8. Move over to the 3 guard. It's much of the same. Dylan Brooks is still very playable at 3,700, despite the fact he sucks at basketball. Andrew Wiggins still pulling no ownership over on DK, only 5%. I don't understand it. I like Wiggins a lot. And, okay. Buzelis, flat minimum on DK, I think you gotta consider him. Not only consider him, like, strongly consider him. Small forward, power forward eligibility, bare minimum price. If you put him and Luke Kennard in your lineup, you could literally build anything you want to tonight. Anything. Move over to power forward. Really like Grant Williams today. He's just too cheap. And then at center, Diabate is going to be a lock for me. Klingon is also a lock at that price. So, it's pretty easy to go stars and scrubs today on DK. So with that, my last piece is going to be a total pay up. It's pretty much between Miller and LaMelo, but with all the savings we got today, it's going to be LaMelo. Let's lock it in, see what kind of lineups we're going to get. I'm going to put Bane at the 3. And Diabate and Klingen. Let's see what we're getting here. I said I was going to put him at the 3. It didn't put him at the 3. There we go. And then for shits and giggles, after we build this, I'm going to put Buzelis and Kennard in this lineup and just see what we get. What's Kennard's ownership? On FanDuel, it is 3%. On DK, it is 19%. So it looks like the public's seeing, hey, Kennard's too cheap on DK. And Buzelis is 23% on DK. And this first build I'm getting here, I get Wiggins, who I love, Ayo, who's good value, and Brandon Miller, who I told y'all I was struggling between Ball and LaMelo for the last core piece. I get them both in that lineup. Let's try to plug in Kennard and Buzelis and just see what kind of weird lineup it spits out. Is he going to get minutes? He hasn't played over 20 all year, coming off an extended injury. I have no interest. Oh, I need to put the DK core in. One second, chat. So, I told you guys about a pivot. For some reason, they do not start Musa Diabate. Clear pivot we got is to Trace Jackson Davis, and we're gonna take that pivot. If for some reason Diabate doesn't start, I expect him to, but you never know with these teams, right? There we go. Posted in the Discord. Who is it, 8? Let's look at these lineups we were getting, though, after we lock those two cheapies in. We get Giannis with Ayo. Brandon Miller with LeBron. Like, I love what we're getting here. Let's just take one of them out. Let's just take Kennard out and see what we're getting. And then we'll take Buzelis out and put Kennard back in and see what we're getting. It's fun to build when you can, like today, where you have some really good value pieces that allow you to make some really interesting builds. I'm interested to hear who it is, 8. So we're still getting a lot of Amon. I'm totally fine with it. A lot of Ayo. Totally fine with it. And Giannis. totally fine with it. Let's take you out and put Kennard in. Ugh, I'm gonna throw up. Ugh. Oh god, I'm getting sick. My man said D-Lo. I don't think he's too bad on DK. But I'm not playing him, that's for damn sure. They ain't gonna need his bum ass. He a bum. Ain't no way. For 5K, I could play him. You talking about on FanDuel, I assume. For 5K, give me 500 more and give me Russell Westbrook. Give me Stephon Castle. Give me Anthony Black. I don't think so. I checked in the Sassier earlier. No, he's pulling 1% ownership. I had him projected for 7.19. Line Stars got him projected for 7.39. Even with Cade out, I don't expect him to play more than 15 minutes. And that's being generous, I think. Wagner ball in a large field tournament. So Wagner will be less owned. I almost guarantee it. Let's check. Yeah, Ball's 34% owned and Franz Wagner is 9% owned. So Franz Wagner for sure in a large field tournament. Because he doesn't care about basketball, in my opinion. Where else could D'Lo go that he's a starter? Portland? That's really the only team I could think of on tonight's slate, at least. He would be a starter on. Maybe Portland. Not you, Jose. Oh, Sassier? I have no idea why the team won't give him minutes, honestly. If I'm being honest with you. Oh shit, where'd that go? I just found my lineup for DK. Where'd it go? It's on the screen. I don't know if one of y'all's going to pick it up. Hey, we got the Pistons lineup 4 minutes ago. I didn't even notice. It says Pistons will start Ivy, Beasley, Hardaway, Harris, Duran. Ja Morant rolled out officially. Who would have ever thought? Marcus Smart, unlikely to play. So, he's not going to be pulling any ownership, 8. But I think that makes Kennard look better. Ooh, I got 1,400 left over in this lineup, and I absolutely love it. I don't want to change anything about it. That's crazy. That is wild. I'm going to run it. Call me crazy. I love Scotty P. He's core. You have 300. 300's perfect. Scotty P is going to be pretty chalky on FanDuel at 34%. Over on DK, not so bad. Yeah, 5% on DK. He's a little too pricey over there. Five viewers, make sure you hit the like button. Join our Discord. It's in the chat. It's also linked down below the stream. I appreciate you guys. I can't say thank you enough for y'all coming to hang out with me on this beautiful Saturday night. Jose, did you play any college football? If so, how'd you do, buddy? I'll be honest, so much to do tomorrow for my Friendsgiving we're having. I wasn't able to pay attention to any of it. Then I couldn't sleep last night. Slept past my alarm today. It was just, it was a headache. Bentley bent you over. Well, I honestly was not expecting Mississippi to lose the damn game. I seen that on TikTok. I haven't checked any scores today from college football. Not a single carry. How many carries did he have last week? I know this is NBA, but I want to check that out real quick. Yep, nothing. Last week he had 13 carries and was targeted 5 times in the passing game. I didn't even play and I had high hopes for him. Marcus Smart officially ruled out. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't play. Completely missed lock. Austin Reeves' ownership is too high, whatever it is. %4. You guys got any questions whatsoever, please hit me with them. I'm just building my lineups. That's all I'm doing, just getting them in. Who else playing NFL tomorrow? I randomly pick a video every day. I have no clue what kind of music it's gonna be. I listen to everything, so my playlist will go from George Strait to Tupac to fucking Led Zeppelin to Kill Switch Engage. Like, I listen to everything. Taylor Swift. I have no shame. Yeah, Jose, you got any quarterbacks you like in particular? Haven't even, I hear you. Said nobody ever, right, Jose? No one has ever said that sentence. Except for delusional Cowboy fans. No, we won't get the Hornets line before lock. I can almost guarantee it. Romo got way more hate than he ever should have. Do I think he was great? No. But he was definitely above average. Jose, I gotta know from your opinion, what the hell happened to Zeke Elliott? His fall off needs to be studied. Man went from one of the best in the game to a nobody overnight. Victor Wembanyama is available to play. News just came across my phone. He got fat. Touche. You guys got any questions about the slate? Got about 11 minutes to lock. Hit me with them. If you got player 1v1s, I'll give you my opinion. Need ownership projections, let me know. So, I'm going to be honest with you, Jose. Jerry Jones, I respect him for what he's done, how he's built the brand of the Cowboys. But he's a terrible owner, bro. He tries to be way too involved. He's not a good GM. Yeah, I like Jokic, then AD, then LeBron, and then Jamal. Those guys are really it. Maybe I could punt a Dalton Connect or Rui Hachimura, but I wouldn't want it in a single entry. He really is, Jose. But hey, remember, things could always be worse. Yep, just like I thought, 8-legged ape. If you're still here, I know you asked about Wemby earlier. He's going to have his minutes monitored. So, heads up. Minutes monitored. How'd you guys feel about me posting my projections today? Is that something you guys want more of in the future or no? I'm not going to be able to do it every slate, but the smaller slates I can. Because I am not very computer savvy. I'm trying to learn. But I don't have my shit automated yet. It's all hand-built projections. Also, I don't know if any of you guys played MMA last night. I had a lineup, and I cannot find it. Like, it is not on the app. It's not in upcoming, it's not in live, and it's not in recents. The only thing I have from yesterday is NBA and college football. And I know for a fact I had a UFC lineup. I firmly remember inputting it. I have no idea what happened to it whatsoever. Five minutes to lock. You guys got questions, please get them in. Good luck, everybody. If there is no questions, I'm going to get on out of here. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming on by. And join the Discord. It is in the chat. It is in the description below. If you have any questions, I am always available in there, and I would be happy to help you. You're playing Marcus Sassier. You are a brave, brave man. And so are you, 8. Good luck, fellas. Fendel, he's 13%. DK, he is 7%. Yeah, you like that, Potent? Awesome, awesome. By the way, guys, I am going to have the NFL player pool and core out tonight. It'll probably be later tonight, but I promise it will be posted. I promised the college football core last night, and I just completely forgot about it. Was dealing with some mental stuff and just escaped my brain. But good luck, guys. I appreciate you all. Before I leave, though, we got some news. Jeremy Grant's going to play, and Fernie Simons is going to play, and DeAndre Ayton has been ruled out. We are riding Donovan Clingan to the moon, gents.